Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the startling truth about selling on Amazon in 2024. And to be honest, let's just get right into it. It's not really what you think it is anymore. So it was kind of easy to wrap your head around it as a beginner, say in 2018 when I started, 2017 when I started looking into it. It was find a product that has low competition and high demand, and we can facilitate that through a set of filters that might look something like this with a product research tool. So we might say, show me something that has 1,000 searches, but no more than 10,000 searches with a monthly revenue between $5,000 per month and $20,000 per month with a price of $18 to $49 with a review rating of no more than 100. Okay. And in the categories arts, crafts and sewing, beauty, personal care, baby, home and kitchen, health and household, industrial, scientific, pet supplies, office, patio, lawn and garden, sports and outdoors, tools and home improvement, toys and games. This is legitimately what Amazon FBA was. You entered filters that looked something like this. Really quick, can you do me a favor and comment Amazon FBA below this video if you've ever heard some type of metrics that sound like what we just talked about? Curious how many of you have actually tried it that way. And then when we saw hockey neck guard youth with 2,000 search volume, we'd go view it on Amazon. And all we needed to see was that there was about 10 sellers in the top half of page 1 with less than 100 reviews, all making between $5,000 to $12,000, $5,000 to $15,000, $5,000 to $20,000 per month, depending on who you asked at the time. And then all we had to do was make a slight change to that product. Go to Alibaba.com. You can even see on Helium 10, there's a button that says find suppliers on Alibaba. Order the same product that everyone else sells with somewhat of a unique change to it, and then list it on Amazon and supposedly make $100 a day, $200 a day, $300 a day as your side hustle. And if you're in the elite, you'd go on and scale it to be your main source of income. Now, what's so different about that? In the last 6 years, there's been a lot of information that came out about that being an opportunity. And much like the gold rush, it was no longer an opportunity once you heard about it in mass. Not the way that you think of it, okay? This idea of I'm gonna easily order pretty much the same thing that everyone else sells it, and through a manipulation of sales rank with some type of differentiation on my product, I'm gonna get to a position where passively my Amazon FBA account is making several $100s. What happens when competition tends to go up on a platform is that the lowest hanging fruit tends to get picked first, and then the fruit at the top of the tree that no one can really reach might still be there. And that's a lot of what we're seeing right now. Whereas I might have lost my mind over this being an immense opportunity 6 years ago, where it's like, oh my God, 80,000 100 reviews, 20,000 22 reviews. The problem is that in the next 3 to 6 months that would require you to launch your version of this product into the market, a lot of what looks like an opportunity in these smaller markets, the price will have dropped down to a point where you ran your math given this being the market you were launching into, but by the time you get there, prices have fallen 40%. Which brings me to one of the biggest points of this video, which is the startling truth about Amazon FBA is that it works for someone. Wherever there lives markets with 5 figures worth of revenue getting poured into them every month, some of those sellers do make money. Now, probably not as many as you would think looking at the market. Any opportunity is working for someone that persists on that opportunity, or else they wouldn't be persisting. You don't run a business for 5 years that continues to lose money just for the sake of running that business. What tends to happen in the majority of markets is that the game is won in sourcing. And the game of sourcing is won with rapport, resources, and capital, right? So I have to have the best connections, the best communication, and order the most units to get the best price. The new seller, beginning seller, selling 100, 200, 300 units for their first month, doesn't have those resources. So then you're stuck ordering at a higher price and you can't compete with these lower priced markets. So what is our saving grace in that case? How do we get out of that trap? Put together a 7-day free challenge for you, the new Amazon FBA seller, to get a better grasp of these things, because I, as someone who actually does this business model, see Amazon as a world of immense opportunity still. Like I said, everything works for someone, and it's just figuring out how to make it work. So it's completely free. I'll send you an email every day with a video from me that I spent a lot of time working hard on to provide more value to you. So that's my gift to you. Enjoy. The trick that I promised I was going to unveil to you in how to still succeed on Amazon lies in something from a book called Blue Ocean Strategy, which is value innovation. Okay. This is a website you can go to, blueoceanstrategy.com/tools/value innovation. Not affiliated with them, just love the book. I think there's some really valuable principles in there. And this basically says that cost savings are made by eliminating and reducing factor industry competes on. Buyer value is lifted by raising and creating elements the industry has never offered. And so what ends up happening is value innovation happens where you lower costs and increase buyer value. And so you make cost savings by cutting back on the things that might have been over-engineered or unnecessary in the first place that all of the competitors compete on because they're competing with each other. And you take a step back, you better identify who the customer is and what their needs are, and then you build a product that's truly for them, and you offer something that's never been offered before. You combine that with the idea of finding an enthusiast market instead of a problem-solution market where the customer actually cares about buying a better option. Yourself in a place where customers are more likely to want to buy from you. Not only do they want a better option, they would happily pay for a better option if it were there. And guess what happens when you're the only unique option that truly solves the customer's need in a way that no one else does? They have to buy it from you and not from your competitors, which solves this race to the bottom and price war that starts to happen because we all have the same product. I can't get in a price war with someone if I have a different product than them. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not saying that this is a great example of a market that this would work in. It'd be very expensive to get into a market like improved memory, but it does serve as a general marker for where someone can charge $60 instead of competing in the low price $9 or $19.99 range and still sell as many, if not more, than those listings. But the honest to God truth from a seller who really is out there in the trenches doing this every day is that this is still a viable business to start. It is still beginner friendly. It just requires that you think a little bit different about it, and you can't just go out and approach it in the same way that everyone else is approaching it, which is why I put together something like that 7-day free challenge and why I make these free videos here on the channel, because I just want to change the status quo. I want to go from everyone thinking there's just some arbitrary metrics that you can follow blindly and then use a few $1,000s to launch something and make passive income, which if 1,000 people do that, a few people get lucky and it does work out for a little while for them. But for the most part, how do we create a strategic system that helps more and more sellers thrive? And I think that starts with looking for a few key factors like that enthusiast customer that cares about a better option, reducing your cost of goods sold, not increasing them with your value innovation, so that you can actually raise customer buyer value without raising your cost significantly, so that you don't get caught up in a place where you can't profit even though people do like what you created. Bringing joy back to the equation where customers see us, they stop in their tracks, maybe they laugh, and then proceed to convert on that listing, making us hopefully profit at the end of that transaction. If you gained any value from this video, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed down below. It helps me a lot as a small channel, just continuing to try and grow and provide valuable free content here on YouTube. But other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. Later.